Hi everybody, today's focus is cleaning vacuum cleaners. So it's really important to clean your home, but it's also important to clean the products that you use to clean your home. So I'm going to show you today how I clean my vacuum cleaners. And yes, that is plural, vacuum cleaners. I'll show you how I clean my Shark Navigator, my Shark Robot, my Roomba, my Dirt Devil handheld, and if I have any others, I might have another one in my closet that I haven't used in a while. I have another stick vacuum. I haven't used in a long time. Regardless, I'll go step by step and I'm going to show you how I clean my vacuum cleaners. First, let's clean my Shark IQ robot. The first thing I want to do is remove the dustbin. Open it up and empty out any dirt and debris that is in the dustbin. I like using a little brush just to get in all the nooks and crannies and to get all the dust out. Then I had to remove the filter. This gets really dirty. Sometimes I'll hit the filter outside so that I'm not getting all that dust inside. But since it's winter, I am doing all this cleaning inside. But I do suggest in the summer, in good weather, to actually clean your filters outside. Then I just take a wet cloth. I usually just spray the cloth with some Force of Nature and wipe the dustbin. Then I take my Dirt Devil quick flip and I use that to vacuum out my filter. Then I have to put the filter back inside. Next, let's clean the brush roll. So you have to remove the brush roll and you can see all the hair that gets wound up inside the brush roll. So I just pop off the end caps. And you can see a lot of the hair there. And I just take my little cleaning tool, or sometimes I take tweezers. I've even used a safety pin if I have a hard time getting up and under to get the hair out. And I just try to rip all the hair off and pull it all off the best that I can. Then using a cloth that I spray Force of Nature on, I wipe the brush roll. Then I use my Dirt Devil quick flip to vacuum out some of the debris. Then I take a wet cloth and wipe the area down. Next, I clean the wheels. I just hold them, turn them, wipe them, just to get any of the dirt off of them. Or sometimes there's hair stuck on there too, so I like to pick that off if there's some hair stuck on them. Next, I'm going to remove the front caster wheel. I have a hard time removing this. It is in there really tight, so you just have to be careful when you're prying it out because it definitely is in there tight. Whoops, there it goes, see? But a lot of dirt and dust can collect in that caster wheel, so I think it's important to wipe that out. And I'll use my tweezers to pick out any dirt and dust that I just can't get out with my hand. Put the front caster wheel back. Then it's just a matter of putting everything back in. Put the brush roll back in. Put the dustbin back in. Flip it over, and I like to wipe the exterior. Inside the base is a dust collection bin, so that can just be removed and emptied. Take a damp cloth and wipe the dustbin. Next, let's clean the pre-motor filters. These are supposed to be cleaned about once a month. Remove the filter cover and wipe that down. First, I'll remove the foam filter and then the felt filter that's underneath it. Then I'll vacuum out the filter area. I shake out the felt and foam filters. Again, I do find this better to do outside, but it's really cold out, so we're doing this inside today. Next, I rinse the filters under cool water in my sink. I do not use any soaps at all, just cool water. There's an awful lot of dirt in there. I think you can probably purchase new filters from the Shark website. I haven't tried to, I haven't needed to. Rinsing them so far with cool water seems to be cleaning them just fine. After rinsing the filters in cool water, I just set them to dry on my counter. Next, I clean the post-motor filter. I think you're supposed to only do the post-motor filter once a year. This really was not dirty at all. I shook off a little dirt, not that much. I wiped it down. But again, this really only needs to be cleaned out once a year. Then I'll just wipe down the exterior and the filter area there with a damp cloth. I do try to remove as much dirt and dust as possible to keep this machine working well. I put back the dustbin. Now that the felt and foam filter is dry, I'll put those back into the base. Let's clean my Shark Navigator vacuum cleaner. First thing, I'm going to take the dustbin off and empty that out. Most of the dust comes out of the bottom. You also have to open the top of the dustbin because this is where all the hair collects. And this vacuum cleaner, I've done a video on this before, I really do like it because it does a great job at collecting long hair and moving it through the vacuum cleaner and not getting it stuck on the brush rolls. Next, I have to clean the foam and felt filters. And I'll vacuum out the filter area with my Dirt Devil. And then I need to remove the HEPA filter and have a look at that. It's looking pretty good. It's a little dirty, but not that bad. I'll wipe down the machine. Sometimes I need to use a little scrubby brush just to get in all the nooks and crannies. I'll put the front filter back in. Now this is the lift away Shark Navigator, so I'm going to lift away the top part so we can clean the bottom. And here we can see this is a big wad of hair that was on its way up to the dustbin. Look at that, that's gross, but it is what it is. And we'll flip it around and we'll clean out those brush rolls. You can use a flathead screwdriver or even a quarter just to turn these small screws. They don't turn far, it's like a tiny, tiny amount. It just pulls forward, and again, you can just pull out any hair that gets stuck in there. It's gross, but at least it doesn't get wound up around the brush roll. Then I take some tweezers and I just kind of pick out anything that's stuck in there. And if there is any extra hair stuck in there, once in a while there's a piece, I'll just use my tools and just grab it out. Again, I use my Dirt Devil to vacuum out the brush roll area. And I wipe the brush roll with a cloth sprayed with Force of Nature. Then I just close up the brush roll holder and screw the screws back. And I like to wipe the wheels to just get any dirt and grime off of them. Sometimes like a rock or a pebble can get stuck on the wheels, so I like to make sure that those are clean. Next, I clean the dustbin. Sometimes I clean this in my tub, but I'm just using my utility sink today. I like that this bin can be submerged in water and can be cleaned out thoroughly. Next up, let's clean those filters. So I'll bang the felt filter and the foam filter in the trash or outside, and then rinse them under cool water. Again, I'm not using any soap because the manufacturing guidelines say not to. I just use some cool water. It is kind of gross to see all the dirt and grime come out of those, but I know my vacuum cleaner is doing a good job. You can buy replacement foam and felt filters for the Shark Navigator, and I have done that because I've had this vacuum cleaner for several years, and I have purchased new filters for it. Once they're dry, I put them back into the Shark Navigator. Next, let's clean my Dirt Devil Quick Flip. So it's pretty simple to open the dustbin and pull out the filters. Those just need to be banged in the trash or again outside. I think this came with another filter that you can actually rinse with water, but I always use this little filter. I should probably look for that. Feeling bad that I don't have that out now. I do wipe it down with a cloth that's been sprayed with Force of Nature. And then you just put the filters back together, put them in the dustbin, and click it back to the base. This one is really simple to clean. Next, I have my Bissell, I think they call it the 3-in-1 vacuum cleaner. I got this, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. I've had this for a long time. It's very similar to the Dirt Devil. You just remove the dustbin from the base, shake out the dustbin, shake out the filter. This one also has a small foam filter that needs to be removed and cleaned. Again, I just wipe it with a cloth that has been sprayed with Force of Nature. Then replace the foam filter and the filter for the dustbin and click it back to the base. Next, let's clean my iRobot Roomba. First thing we're going to do is remove the dustbin. This collects a lot of stuff. Empty the contents into the trash and remove the filter. You can purchase new filters for the Roomba, and I have. This is actually a newer filter. And then I just wipe it down again with my cloth that I've sprayed Force of Nature on it. When we flip it over, we have to clean the brush roll. Now here you can see there is a lot of hair wrapped around this brush roll. So you just remove it, pop off the end cap, and then I take a whole bunch of different tools to cut out and remove the hair that is wrapped around the brush roll. So my Shark Navigator, this doesn't happen, right? The hair does not get stuck on the brush roll at all. But for both the Shark Robot and this iRobot Roomba, the hair does get stuck on the brush roll. It does a great job of picking up the hair. It's just that it does get stuck. And it's kind of tedious removing the hair from the brush roll. Next, I remove the other brush roll, and this one also has hair caught around the end, so I have to rip off the hair using all my different tools. Once I've removed the hair, then I will wipe it down with my cloth. I'll wipe down the rest of the bottom of the Roomba. Next, I remove the brush. Now, there sometimes gets hair stuck in there. It's not a lot, but hair does get stuck in there. So it's important to remove it and pick out the hair. Next, I remove the front caster wheel. This one comes out a lot easier than the Shark IQ. It just kind of pops off really easily, and I'm able to wipe it down. Then just replace the brush rolls. Give it another wipe down. Replace the brush wheel. Replace the filter in the dustbin. It just clicks in. Replace the dustbin. Wipe down the exterior. And we're good to go. So that's how I clean and maintain my vacuum cleaners. It's very important that we become the vacuum cleaners to ensure that our appliances are in great shape. So make sure you're performing the maintenance and cleaning that your vacuum cleaner needs. If there is a product that you would like me to test, do me a favor and put it in the comments section and I will add it to my viewer suggestion list, or you can mail me something. My mailbox address is in the description below. Just do me a favor and send me an email. That's also in the description below so that I know it's from you and so that I know I should check my mailbox. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Have yourselves a great day.